All right, I'm going to begin. So thank you everyone for joining us. Good morning. My name is Emily, and this is an information session I'm hosting so we can share an overview of BD Collective's draft membership offer. This is also a good opportunity for you to see any questions that have been asked, which I will answer, but also to ask any questions you have, and you can put them in the chat, and we'll have some time for them at the end of this presentation. Okay, right. So moving on. A bit of background to start. BD Collective started out in 2019 as an informal network of networks. This was useful to start getting VCFSC organizations to collaborate more. As the years went by, we as a collective decided that we needed to evolve in order to address some of the gaps that have emerged and bring more structure and governance to better support our members. So we registered as a membership-led society, and I was brought in to work alongside the working group members to discuss what the membership might look like over the course of this year. So BD Collective will operate like a cooperative, but for wider community benefit and ultimately improving the quality of life for people who live and work in Barking and Dagenham. The result of the collaboration for over this year is the draft membership offer that we have published. We need your feedback. So gathering all your feedback, we will then tweak it before we launch early next year. So what's in the pack? So this slide is basically the content page that you see when you open up the document. And the pack covers a reintroduction for contextual understanding of the background of BD Collective, what the future might look like, and some details of the membership benefits, criteria, etc., which I will cover in this session. And first thing for membership benefits, we've grouped them into three broad categories. So this is to encourage more collaboration amongst membership organizations, collaboration and networking, which is something that a lot of people have asked for, and informing members of funding, partnership, and learning opportunities. And these have been developed through various conversations with members of the sector, our previous surveys, and discussions in the working group meetings. You can see more details about them in the pack, but this is basically the summary of it. So in terms of membership criteria and signing up, we welcome all VCFSC organizations in the borough who are, basically working in Barking and Dagenham. And the sign-up process should be straightforward, although we do need your feedback on what a good annual fee structure should look like. The annual membership fee will be inclusive of your membership share with a nominal value of £1. And being a member organization also means you get a vote at our general meetings. So the membership fees will also contribute towards membership activities and resources, which can evolve, with feedback from member organizations. And this can be an evolving list of benefits and way of working together. And now on to networks. I've worked with the existing network leads to think about what we'll like how we'd like them to evolve and what they look like in terms of how they operate. And you see that this list of networks looks really familiar. That's because we have commitment from network leads to continue driving them with some minor tweaks. For example, the food network is pivoting to anti-poverty so that we can address more cross-cutting root causes that include housing, employability, etc. And instead of group chats, we will create instead of separate group chats, we will create a WhatsApp community so that all member organizations that sign up can have visibility on all available networks and be able to opt into one or more of them. Now, how the networks will operate, basically there's still a lead organization for each network. There will be, funding and support for network activities. But we also want to acknowledge that there will be more networks that's possible to be built in the future, and it all depends on what the members want. So the next one is on representation. You might see that we already have people who represent the collective that sit on strategic boards and committees in the borough. There is a section on Discourse, our community forum, if you're on it, for updates on these activities from these people who represent us. Some of these strategic boards are convened by the council, some by statutory health services, and we would like to have more transparency in how members can take up these roles and remunerate them for their time. We have some questions in the feedback form to understand what people think about how the collective facilitates these opportunities and what is expected from the individuals who take up these roles, to update the collective on any important pieces of work around these strategic pieces of development in the borough. So the next one is on engagement principles. So we want to establish some engagement principles because we wanted to envision what it might look like, for your organization to become part of BD Collective. So we've kind of identified 4 key principles. The first one being everyone's welcome and respected. We respect the diversity, experience, and engagement across all members. And the collective will aim to support new and existing collaborations and working with members to identify areas for improvement so that we can grow as a sector. And second one is on different points of view. So different opinions, points of view can be very productive, and we can help to identify, growth is uncomfortable, right? So when we try to see if we have kind of investigate why there are different points of view, sometimes it can be a bit challenging. So if we need a bit of facilitation of a conversation, the collective secretariat or board can be there to support this, so that we can come together to address these challenges and find possible resolutions together. So the third one is on clarity on roles during meetings. So apart from being a nominated person to represent a member organization, sometimes, this person can also hold other roles that may present conflicts of interest. So we want to be very clear about making it a practice to clarify which hat you are representing, whilst you are in conversation with other members, especially in meetings on opportunities. So we understand the context around this person's priorities, constraints, and why they make recommendations. So this wasn't very explicit in the past, and we find that it's to avoid any misunderstanding or challenges in terms of conflicts of interest. We want to make this one of the principles so that we are very clear when we engage with someone, what are they speaking on behalf of. Okay, the last one is on the stewardship of the CBS. So BD Collective is going to be a membership-led organization with 1 member, 1 vote. And this is stewarded through 2 layers of governance. So there's a board of directors that will provide the strategic and governance steer. And then there will be a staff that helps to support on administrative activities in order to help networks operate. And of course, all member organizations will be guided by these principles. And also, the model rules, which I will talk about in a bit. Okay, so these are the engagement principles, and I will move on to the next section on questions we already received. So we have been receiving some responses so far, so thank you very much if you have submitted your response. I thought I should pick out some of the feedback that we already received, which I'm happy to talk about here. If you want to respond to these, or if you want to add on to the discussion, please send in your feedback as well, so that we can capture it in the collective feedback that we get from everyone, which will feed into how we tweak the membership offer. So the first question that I thought was quite interesting is a really good question. So it talks about the guidance for leaving the membership because the pack only talks about joining the collective. So we do have a provision in our society model rules that covers termination of membership, which can happen under various circumstances. I'm sharing the screenshots here, and you can follow the link to the full document in our membership pack. But this document is a set of rules for CBSs, and it's taken from a template provided by UK Co-op, of which we're a member. So it covers other things to think about, quite which are quite governance related, so it's very it's important. It provides a lot of answers to maybe some of the questions you might already have. So I would recommend taking a look at the model rules document because you might find some answers there as well. So I won't go into details about termination of membership, but you can see some of the reasons that are outlined here. Okay, and next one is on inclusion of art. And there is also trying to understand the intersection between charities and CICs. I will address one at a time. So I mentioned earlier that there are new networks that can form in the collective. So don't take the list of networks as the be all and end all. The point is that we want to grow the membership and be able to explore other areas, thematic areas of collaboration. So definitely arts and culture can be one of them. What form it might take depends on the membership discussion, but also I understand there are other arts and culture collaborations that happen, in the borough already. The difference is that when you start a network as a collective member, you are doing it in the environment of VCS only collaboration discussions, because the collective is recruiting VCFSC organizations. So it's a bit like by VCS for VCS. So if you create this new network for arts and culture or any other suggested themes, you not only are creating this for this theme, but because it has visibility from all members, any other organization can opt in to, cross collaborate or, join in and, share ideas. So in terms of the second question around like the intersection of different types of organizations, VCFSE refers to like voluntary community, faith-based and social enterprises. So CICs is, they are a type of social enterprise. So if you identify as one, then you are welcome to, join the collective, assuming you're also based in Buckingham and Dagenham, of course. So there's another question which is quite something that I've heard a lot in the past year of engagement with different stakeholders. There is a lot of interest in including smaller groups and organizations, and this is quite common in our borough where a lot of VCFSC organizations are not big. So this is one of the key reasons why we wanted to have a membership organization, because this is going to help to bring a bit of equity for smaller groups and organizations to become members, with each member having one vote. So regardless of the organization size, everyone has a vote at our general meetings, which can help to facilitate equal, representation of voice and equity. So this is something that we have kept in mind when we were going through the discussions previously. And I also have included some suggestions that we received so far. There are, again, suggestions for other types of thematic networks, which is, all open for discussion. Services, for example, mentoring activities for members. This is definitely, something that we could provide, but it really depends on the strength of the membership, what is our operating budget, and also, what are the interests from other members. We could take a vote on this in a general meeting, for example, if we want to include membership mentoring opportunities for members. So anything's possible as long as it's legal and the membership is, interested to get in on that. The last one is, clarity on consortia opportunities. So the networks are meant to discuss collaborations on funding, collaborative funding bids, as one of the key things that we want. We will hope that, it helps to facilitate. So I think this speaks to the consortia opportunities here. And so hopefully this answers, the question. If you have other suggestions that we should be thinking about in terms of membership benefits and, activities that we want to see in the collective, please fill in the feedback form and we will be able to capture it. So the feedback form will be open until 11th of January. And we would like you to tell us what you think. The membership pack is 10 pages, including the cover page. And hopefully this presentation helps you to understand what's in it. But I do encourage you to spend 15-20 minutes to kind of, peruse through the content. And the feedback form is not extensive. It's only going to take you about 8 to 10 minutes to fill it in. Of course, if you have more to say, we welcome you to spend a bit more time to let us know your thoughts. And also to encourage more responses, we are also doing a draw prize. There are 3 prizes to be won. So, it's just a little reward and a thank you for people who, take time to participate. We also have a pre-registration form to kind of understand the level of interest in a membership. So if you want to be the first to be informed about the time when we launch the membership, please add your contact details to the pre-registration form. Okay, and last but not least, we want to receive your feedback soon. All available information is available here at this short link, or you can also scan the QR code to get to the information. So thank you so much for your attention today. I don't see any questions in the chat, but thank you so much for those who have dropped in. If you have any further questions, please feel free to let me know, or you can put in your thoughts in a feedback form. That would be the best course of action, so we can, aggregate your responses together with other people's responses as well. And that's all I have for you. Thank you so much. I hope to see more of you signing up as members in the coming year. Thank you.